Manager?
No, it's been a good week. 3 massive games for us and 3 tough games. And today was a tough game in a different way to the others because we knew the expectation, probably external, was that we were going to win today, and that's very difficult sometimes to manage that. And we knew Southampton were dangerous opponents. Their need is great as well. And they've got quality players, so to find ourselves 1-0 down at half-time was a difficult thing, but I thought we handled ourselves brilliantly in the second half.
You put Callum in, he scores twice, you leave him out, he scores twice, that's not a bad headache there.
Yeah, he was exceptional today. He changed the game for us. He, first and foremost, he comes on with the right attitude, as he always does, with that desire to score, and thinks of the team within his performance as well. So could have had a hat-trick. Yeah, an outstanding display from Callum.
Luke, when the first goal went in, I think you turned around and gesticulated to the crowd a little bit. It was a bit flat in the first half. Was that a sort of new experience for you here a little bit?
I think quite rightly it was flat, and I always say it was our performance that made it that way. So we weren't great with the ball. We were a little bit looked tired, a little bit off that 5% that you need at this level off the ball. I thought we were the same. So we were flat, and that then meant the game was flat, the crowd was flat, and that was all our own doing. And they tried to galvanise us at certain periods in that first half, and we couldn't really get going. I did have a feeling the second half would be different, attacking the Gallagher end and just the scoreline as it was, and yeah, we changed a couple of things tactically at half time, and it was a much better performance. The crowd then got in the game, and they certainly helped us over the line.
Is Callum bending your ear a little bit about not starting all the time, or is he taking it quite well?
No, we've had discussions and talks, but there's been no bending the ear. It's a great phrase. I know he's desperate to play every minute of every game. I do think I have a duty to manage him as well, and to make sure that he stays fit for as long as possible, because when he is fit and playing and doing what he did today, I don't think there's anyone better. Delighted for him, and obviously it gives me food for thought as we go through the last 5 games.
Thank you.
Chris?
Hi, Eddie. You mentioned that you changed a few things tactically at half-time. Was moving Alexander Isak to the left wing, obviously did it midweek as well. Is that something new which you hadn't used it before? Is it something that you've sort of discovered the last few days that might work and that you use going forward?
No, it's not something that's new to me. I knew upon signing him that he could play wide. I've seen him play wide left, wide right, lots of different positions. I'd say it's probably a secondary position for him. I haven't really discussed it with him. I wouldn't say it's his favoured position, but he can certainly do it, and he's definitely got the trickery of his feet and the speed to manipulate the ball in really tight areas. He's willing to get up and back, which is a great sign. He's got devastating pace on transition, so there's a lot to like of him in that position. And I'll go away tonight and analyse that game.
As much as Callum wants to play every game, is in reverse sort of ways having Alex now there as well, for Callum who's had a lot of injury problems, to not have to play 3 times in a week, does that help Callum in some ways physically? Absolutely,
it does, in my opinion, and that's why I know Callum will probably see Alex's signing as maybe as part negative for him, because it means how many minutes am I going to play, but I see it as all positive, because it means we can be careful over his minutes and decide. Like a 3-game week previously, probably Callum would have played every game and every minute of every game, and then potentially pick up an injury. So we have to manage him carefully. What I will say is, in that time when he has been managed, his attitude has been absolutely first class, and that's why he's able to perform as he has.
Just finally, on the decision to withdraw Anthony Gordon at half time, was that purely tactical? Was that
well, if I wanted to introduce Callum, I had to take someone off, and it really was a process of that decision. Really, I thought Anthony played well in the first half. I thought our best moments came through him. So it wasn't really a slight on what he had given the team. I needed to do something, I felt, to stimulate the group and give Southampton a different problem. But I was delighted with the 45 minutes that he had.
Aaron?
Eddie, even though the team you find ways to win when they're not playing too well, is it a bit of a concern on sort of slow starts of play?
Yeah, I don't think we're consistently slow starters. I think different games have given us different things. Certainly Tottenham and other games that we've played recently, we've started really well.
And is there an update on Sean Longstaff and how big of a miss is he?
Yeah, Sean picked up a knock on his foot. We sent him for an X-ray. There's no break or fracture, we think. So we just hope it's bad bruising. He wasn't able to performed for us today, but hopefully be back very soon.
Greg?
Eddie, I'm just doing the maths here now, as you might just do the other night. If potentially, I think we need 2 wins away from guaranteeing the top 4 if it's also a certain way today, what do you make of that?
I trust your math skills, but I think from my perspective, and I think on behalf of all the players, we want to try and win every game. We've got a really tough one to come next here, which will be a great occasion for us, and that's the only focus that I'll have on.
Kieran?
Like a timely test of the mentality of the group going in 1-0 down. What did you see when you looked around the dressing room?
I felt we were a little bit, for whatever reason, a little bit flat in that first half. So didn't think our body language was what we needed to be on the pitch, represented really by our overall performance. So I think there was a few things that needed to be said to try and change how we saw the challenge. You know, for me in those moments when you're 1-0 down, it is an opportunity to win a different way. That's all it is. What you can't do is dwell on the negative situation you're in. You have to find a positive solution. That's where I have to credit the players and how they managed that second half.
I felt he's really bought into that team ethic and how coming after more understanding of what happened.
Yeah, I thought his reaction to being taken off was very good. If there can be a very good reaction to it, he was obviously internally. I suspect he was very disappointed, but he didn't let that show. There was no outward sign of or a negative reaction to that, which you need in that situation. I've done it plenty of times this season and will continue to do it. I'll have to take players off early if I'm not seeing what I want from the team. I think we did it at Brentford where we made 2 very early subs half-time, and the 2 players then reacted in the same way. I think there's an understanding now with 5 substitutes. Managers, in my opinion, I will continue to act early, but it's not always a reflection of the performance of the player.
Jordan?
Do you think that Anthony Gordon's perhaps a little bit low on confidence, missed that chance in the first half and perhaps dropped his head a little bit?
Yeah, it's difficult for me to comment on Anthony's behalf. I don't know. Did that miss affect him mentally? Possibly. It shouldn't have done, though, in my opinion, because the chances all of his own creation, his pace, his speed, the timing of his run, some brilliant characteristics that will serve us really well here in the future. As I say, I thought he was at the heart of all our good bits of play, so it may sound like a contradiction, but I thought he performed really well. But as I say, someone had to be sacrificed.
How do you sum up his time at this club so far? He started 3 games, but unfortunately he's been through half-time within 2 of them, so how do you assess his start?
Well, I think we've seen glimpses of unbelievable potential. I've got no doubts, I've said this previously, that he'll be a top player for us. Sometimes, these things take a little bit longer for everyone else to see, but I've got no doubts.
Miles?
Next weekend against Arsenal, is that too soon for sure, Longstaff?
I hope not. No, I hope he'll be available pretty soon, but it's difficult to guarantee that. Yeah, we're seeing improvements from Max. He's been working with us now for a week. He's been working hard with the physiotherapist, still not with the sports scientist, so there's still a bit for him to do before he's back training, but all positive signs.
Scott?
Following on from Craig, other bit of maths, I think you're actually only 1 win away from being guaranteed European football of some description next season, and the crowd are obviously starting to sing about it and get excited about it. And have you thought what bringing European football of any description to Newcastle might mean and might be like?
I have to be honest and say I haven't really digested that. I haven't really taken myself there. Might sound a bit strange, but I haven't. I've just focused on the next game and the next challenge and the next training session, and then there will be a time when we have to plan, because recruitment and all the other things that come into play, but it's not the time now, because there's no guarantee of anything. We still have to win the games that we need and get the points that we need. So my head is currently where we are presently, and that won't change.
Just one on Anthony. It's probably a very different situation to Joe Linton, but in Joe Linton you've got someone who came in with quite a bit of expectation, obviously took a little bit of time, had ups, had downs, but has come through all that and is now an absolutely integral part of this side doing great things. Can Anthony take anything from that, just in terms of if it doesn't click instantly, that doesn't necessarily, especially from halfway through the season?
Yeah, signing in January is very difficult, notoriously. But I wouldn't say it hasn't clicked. I think we've seen Brentford, he came on and changed the game. An outstanding performance today. There was some really, really good bits in there. So I wouldn't say it hasn't. Manchester City had our best chance of the game. But I do think there's moments where Anthony needs to look and reflect and go, when I do get the outward headlines that my performances deserve, I'll look back at these moments, and I think they'll be really good for him, actually.
Andy at the back.
There were a few instances, Eddie, throughout the game where we saw individual players, Joe Linton, Alex Isak, Bruno Guimaraes, turn to the crowd, wave their arms about to G them up. How impressed and how pleased are you with the synergy that there is between the team and the crowd at times like that?
Yeah, I love to see those moments. I think that's happening more and more in the game, I believe. And I love to see it from my perspective as the manager, that the players and the crowd interacting with each other positively. There's no better sight. When we score or when the players ask the crowd for some noise, they deliver. We need that synergy, we need that relationship, we need that united feeling, and we have it at the moment, and we want to keep it. And for me, it's one of the most important things that we do.
Just finally from me, did the owners go into the dressing room just after, and if they did, what?
I didn't see them if they did. That's not to say that they haven't come down, but always very positive and great to see them.
Okay, thank you everybody.
Thank you.
Cheers.
Cheers.